Hey there, it's your Bill Estate Agent, and we are here with another episode of my Shop Local series. And this Shop Local is pretty unique. We've got a really neat property within our community here in North Fulton, and today I'm here with Jacqueline Welch, the Director of Development for the Wills Park Equestrian Foundation. So hey, Jacqueline.
Thank you for having me, Bill.
Yeah, thank you for coming in. I'm really excited about this interview. I actually have been to the Equestrian Center years ago, and I underutilized visiting there and going there. It's such a neat part of the Alpharetta community.
It really is a hidden gem there in the community.
Yeah. Well, so I'm excited to get going, but first I've got to ask my one and only real estate question of the day. Are you ready?
I think I'm ready.
Okay. So in a perfect world, if you could have any type property that you want, what does that property look like?
So I was fortunate enough to grow up on a beautiful farm in the Alpharetta area, and so that would be my dream property, to have some land.
Acreage.
All
right.
But close enough to all the special places in Alpharetta and Milton.
Yeah. Okay. Well, lucky for you, there's a lot of great farms and things in that Alpharetta and Milton area. So, all right. Well, so the Wills Park Equestrian Foundation. This is a fairly new or nonprofit, like in the last 5 or 6 years, right? And so, tell us about it and why it was developed and what y'all do.
Great. Yes, the Wills Park Equestrian Foundation was formed in 2018, and currently we are working and on a mission to revitalize Wills Park Equestrian Center in collaboration with the city of Alpharetta to ensure that it remains a thriving part of the Alpharetta community, not only for residents, but also to bring visitors into the area.
Yeah, and it's technically a part of the city park, right?
It is. Okay. It is a city of Alpharetta park.
Yes. All right. And it was when I went, it was still pretty active, but it started to get into a situation where it made, like, they were considering closing it at one point. Is that right?
They were. The Equestrian Center
Yeah.
portion specifically. So Wills Park is about 120 acres. The Equestrian Center is 60 acres. And there was real talk in about 2014 that it would be repurposed.
Okay.
And so a group of passionate individuals led by Cheryl Sims, who is our executive director now, came together and said, we have to keep this a part of the community.
Yeah.
It is too important.
And it's so unique. Like, there are so few communities that have something like this, and if you've never been past it or to it, you need to just drive down Wills Road off of Highway 9 and check it out. It's really cool, especially on a Saturday, a weekend when the show's going on.
Yes.
So, yeah.
It's a great to bring, especially the kids. I was fortunate to spend some time out there a couple weeks ago when I personally was competing and spent a lot of time within the community just watching how residents utilize the park who weren't equestrians. You know, and families coming out and walking and on the walking path or playing disc golf or having a picnic on the new amphitheater seating. It was really, really neat to see.
Well, that is awesome. And so I love that this foundation is formed and is making efforts. So what are your goals as a foundation? You're raising funds, obviously, and what are the plans once you've hit your goals, and how close are you to your goals?
Yeah. So the city of Alpharetta and the Wills Park Equestrian Foundation signed a memorandum of understanding in 2020 that the city would pay $5 million through the citizens, and the citizens agreed to do so in a parks bond they passed in 2021. And then the foundation is raising $5 million from their side. So those dollars will go towards revitalizing the infrastructure of the park. So currently we've built 2 new rings for competition, and we have 2 more in the works in phase 2. Also included in phase 1, in addition to those 2 arenas, we added amphitheater seating overlooking one of them. So that's provided a really great space for families and residents to use, but also for hospitality purposes.
Yeah.
Too. And then, so where we are with our goal, we just passed our halfway mark.
Awesome.
So
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's great.
So we've raised 2.5, and now everything we're raising going forward for the foreseeable future will go towards the barns and the stalls. So
Okay.
horses are currently living in the same barns and stalls as they were in kind of the 1970s when
Wow,
they built Wills
yeah.
Park. So they need a little love these days. So that is coming.
Well, and so I don't know that much about it, so I want to ask. So with the barns and stalls, are there horses actually boarded at the park, or I mean at the facility, or is that for days of competition just to have a place for?
Yeah, that's a great question, and I appreciate you bringing that up because horses are not boarded at Wills Park on a regular basis. It is a horse hotel of sorts, right? So when competitors and equestrians are coming in to compete, they have to bring their partners with them, and our horses stay in the stalls at the barns for the weekend while the competition is going on, and then they go back home.
Okay, yeah, and so a competition does it run typically like a Friday to Sunday? Are there preliminary trials and then do you make it to the finals for the last day, or how's that work?
So competitions are typically either schooling shows, which may be one day or maybe 2 days, or a local show, which is going to be a Saturday and a Sunday. So you come in on Friday, you practice, you school, and then you show on Saturday and Sunday. And then rated shows actually last a little longer. So you may trailer in on Tuesday or Wednesday and then show Thursday through Sunday.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah. I think I just came to a one-day show when I came up to see everything happening. But the foundation, I know you're raising money. Do you sponsor any events, or is there anything coming up, or how can we help? How can people get in there and help you out?
So I think several ways to help come out and see the facility is one. It's gone through a lot of changes over the last few years. So just as a resident or someone in the community locally, come see what a weekend looks like. There's a horse show or some type of competition almost every weekend out of the year. Specifically fundraisers for the foundation. We have our annual Charity Golf Classic on Monday, April 22nd. At Horseshoe Bend Country Club, and then on May 4th, Saturday, May 4th, which is Derby Day, the day everyone loves horses,
Yes.
we will throw a Derby party at White Columns Country Club up in Milton. So we have tickets for sale. Best way to find that would be through Facebook. Both of those are on our Facebook page or our Instagram page. And then we'll have a benefit horse show. So the only horse show that the foundation actually puts on will be August 16th through the 18th, and that will be at Wills Park Equestrian Center.
Okay.
And then lastly, to throw in a little pitch, just if you want to come visit Wills Park in a unique opportunity, the rodeo comes to town.
I was going to ask if you still do
Yes.
rodeos. I remember that every now and then there's a rodeo, so I didn't know if you still did that or not.
They do. They come
That's
to town
great.
typically the first weekend of May, and that will hold true this year. So they will be in town May 3rd through the 5th.
Okay.
And the information should be on the City of Alpharetta's site for that, not the
Super.
foundation site.
That would be fun. I actually need to mark that one down. Well, so what else? So I will ask, as a resident, is there any part of the equestrian center that I could reserve or rent if I had a group that I wanted to bring in? Maybe not even horse related, but just use the facilities?
Yeah. One of the unique pieces with the Equestrian Center at Wills Park is the covered arena. So the covered arena is multi-use, and that is available through the City of Alpharetta for
Okay.
rent, as long as it isn't previously reserved for another event.
Sure.
But that's where the rodeo is hosted. They also do a fair amount of dog agility competitions up in that covered arena, and then Rotary Club has used it for fundraisers in the past, or Boy Scouts of America. So it is used by the residents and folks in the area.
Super. Well, I'm still kind of blown away by I didn't realize how big Wills Park was actually. It was
Yes.
so large, and the 60 acres just for the equestrian center. So that's great. Well, okay. So if I or if anyone wanted to help out and volunteer, are there opportunities that people could do that?
Absolutely. So our fundraisers are three major ones that I noted between our golf tournament, our derby, and our annual benefit show are opportunities. But we also do small community events. So I spent the weekend, this past weekend on April 13th, up in Milton with the Milton Equestrian Committee's Meet the Neighbors events. So those are also great. I'd love to have volunteers join me for those and help with booth setups and just talking about the park and maybe how the park has benefited them or their family, or if they just want to come help out.
Yeah. Well, good.
Love a helping hand.
That is awesome. Well, so anything else you'd like to talk about while we're here today?
I think really just, the park as a whole is such a benefit, not only to the community and the residents, but Milton and Alpharetta and Roswell has such a rich equestrian community. So as you mentioned earlier, equestrian centers are not in every town.
Right.
We are really fortunate to have this in the city of Alpharetta, in a place where so close to so many equestrians, and it helps make this sport much more accessible to those who have horses and those who don't. So it's home for even IEA competitions, which is through middle school and high schools, where you don't have to own a horse and you don't have to own tack. You can ride on a middle school or a high school team, and then they come and they compete at facilities like Wills Park. So having the park so close to so many equestrians is such a benefit for the community, and making this sport, as I mentioned, just more accessible and more affordable to more folks.
Well, and from a real estate point of view as well, it is such an asset to have something like this in our community, and it does create value for everyone who lives here. So thank you for everything you guys are doing, and thanks for to Cheryl and everyone that's a part of the foundation, because I know it's a lot of work, and it'll be well worth it. But so all right, so Jacqueline, before you leave, of course, you're going to love this. You get your Bill Estate swag. We have a shirt for you today. Your tailgate cup, or I guess your competition cup. You can have your
I love that. Perfect.
And then of course your koozie. So we'll keep you hydrated, keep your drinks cold, and enjoy your shirt.
Thank you so much, Bill.
All right. When you're ready to sell or buy, call your Bill Estate agent. He's your guy.